Hi guys, Marco here, and I've got a video for you on swing bowling, mainly because I've seen some different hand positions and what have you, not only with kids but worryingly adults as well are getting this terminology wrong in regard to swing bowling. So I want to hopefully clear everything up right here in this video. Swing bowling mainly done by fast medium bowlers, and the thing to note is that swing bowling is bowling through the air. Okay, it's not seam bowling, which is where you get the movement off the pitch. So with seam bowling, the ball will hit the ground and the ball will deviate one way or the other. With swing bowling, we're moving it through the air, so it's already taken its course before it bounces, okay, before it pitches. So with that, it's really important then to bowl most of your deliveries good to full length, okay? So you've got to be pitching the ball up, offering the batsman to drive. A short ball here and there, you know, just to keep the batsman guessing is okay when you get to that level, but I would encourage most of you, if not all, your deliveries to be pitched up and swinging, okay? Because obviously it's going to go through the air. If it's halfway down the wicket, it's not going to swing very much. Okay, so something that can help us throughout all this is just basically having a high arm, as you would, nice bowling action, which has a nice high arm, high forearm and a nice straight wrist. So these high straight limbs of your body, basically, you know, so that you're around about 12 o'clock, if you like, if I do that. You know, what we don't want is like somewhere like 2 o'clock, okay? And the reason for that is because it's going to affect the alignment of the seam, okay? So once we've got that, we can then start playing around with the alignment of the seam. Okay, so imagine I've got a new ball, which I have, funnily enough. I'm going to give you the ball as if you, the viewer, are the bowler, and at the minute, I'm a right-handed batter. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to swing the ball away. And the classic thing that I hear is, you know, if you're trying to swing the ball away, coaches will say, point the ball to the slips. And what you often get is this here, where the seam does point towards the slips. Let's just come back a bit. The seam does point towards the slips, but the thing with this one is that if you do hold it there with like pretty much that in your hand, what you're going to do is you're going to get this scrambled seam like so. That's how the ball's going to rotate down the wicket, and we don't want that, because you know this side's not staying on this side and this side's not staying on this side. So what we want is, ideally, yes, the seam to point towards the slips, okay, but we want to keep the seam upright, and the way we do that is, instead of going to this, okay, because what people have done there is they've moved it from the top, like that. So we've got a perfect seam and they've gone like that. Okay, what I'm going to suggest you do is, if we go back to the middle, and then I want you to move it from the back here. So you're just going to move it ever so slightly, like that. Let's get it on as part of the seam where it's nice and fresh. It's got a bit of a cut seam, this one. Okay, so just going to, oh, nearly fell off. So as you can see there, the ball is still pointing towards the slips, but it's still upright, so that when the ball comes out of the hand, okay, it's going to rotate like this. Okay. What it's not going to do is scramble like it did on the previous release point there. So if you are a right-handed bowler bowling away swing to a right-handed batter, try and keep it as simple as I can. You know, you want to be looking at people like Matthew Hoggard, Tim Southey, these kind of guys that swing the ball away really nicely. Have a look at them in slow motions, in, you know, whatever, you know, just videos of YouTube. Have a look at all them, and you'll see the release point. If you are then bowling in swing, the thing to do is we're going to go back to our seam where it's dead straight. Okay, now we went this way for the away swing, but because we want to bowl in swing, we're going to turn the seam this way. So now it's just the opposite way, and the ball is hopefully going to swing the other way. Now it's important to note at this point that your bowling action will determine a little bit of which way it's going to swing, meaning that your bowling action will encourage it to swing one way more than it will the other way. So for example, if you take people like Stuart Broad, Ben Stokes, they predominantly swing the ball in. It doesn't mean that they can't bowl an away swinger, but their bowling action really encourages them to swing the ball in. You might be able to find that they do try and swing it away sometimes, but it doesn't quite swing as much. Okay, so that's something to note for there with your right arm bowlers. Just imagine now that I am a left-handed batter, and I want to obviously cater for you left-armers out there, because there are plenty of you. So left arm away swing, bowling at me now, the left-handed batter rather. You're going to put the ball in your hands like this, so very similar to the in-swinger just a second ago with the right arm. You're going to point the ball towards where my slips would be, this way. Okay, you're going to point it like that. Okay, so again it's from the back. You've gone from a dead straight seam, from the back there, just like that. And then of course this is where your hands come into it there. So your left arm will sit there. And again, yeah, was it Mohammad Amir, Trent Boult, Wasim Akram, all these kind of guys, watch them, see how they swing it away. And then if you want to bowl in swing, there's one guy that I've seen called Sohail Tanvir, and there's a really good video of him bowling to Chris Gale. So if that's what you do bowl, have a look at that video. Again, all he'll do, imagine I'm a left-handed batter now, fine legs this way. He's going to point the seam ever so slightly to fine leg, like so. And his bowling action certainly suggests he's going to bowl in swing. Okay, so do have a look at that. And of course, what we want is just going back to that scrambled seam thing I talked about a second ago. We want the seam to be upright for as long as the for as long as the ball pitches. So, it's going to hold that position whilst it's through the air, or it's going to hold that position whilst it's through the air, depending on what you bowl. Okay, what we don't want then is that scrambled seam going like this, because it just isn't going to swing like that. Okay, so at this point I'm going to encourage you to go and see, after this video of course, encourage you to see Trent Boult and Tim Southey's video. They're the two New Zealand openers. One's right arm swings it one way, one's left arm swings it the other way. I'm sure you'll be able to work that out when you watch the video. But they're bowling to the Sri Lankan team, and there's a really good slow-mo video, and you can see the seam. The seam presentation's beautiful. It's swinging a lot as well. So yeah, have a look at that video. At this point, can't really mention, can't really do a swing bowling video without mentioning Jimmy Anderson. And it's important to know what he actually does, because I've heard some people say that he will reverse swing the ball, and that's not quite true. What he does, just going back to my right arm bowler, he will swing the ball away conventionally with a new ball like this, and then he'll conventionally swing the ball in as well. Okay, and it's important to know that that's not reverse swing. We're going to get onto reverse swing a little bit later. But yeah, that's not reverse swing, that's conventional or orthodox or normal swing, whichever way you want to say it. With a new ball, you know, in the first, let's say 10 overs, so 15 overs, he'll have the ball, and yeah, he'll be swinging the wet ball away with a new ball and then in at will. So all he's doing there is he's just changing the seam position. So there's my away swinger, and then he'll just hold it ever so slightly different, chuck it the other way, and it will swing the other way. Okay, so obviously then after 10-15 overs, he might still be on, depending on how well he's doing, but the ball is going to be a little bit older, and that's where you first change. And but again, perhaps Jimmy, if he's bowling really well, he's going to then get a ball which looks a little bit like that. Now I hope you can see that in the camera. Now in my light there, you hopefully see a shiny side this side and a rough side this side at the minute. Okay, so that's what I've got at the minute. Now then, there's a reason why you see your teammates, other teams, shining one side. This is the shiny side at the minute, and this is the rough side. So there's a reason why you see it. The ball is going to get hit on the ground by the bats. You know, it might even hit, I don't know, a brick wall or something wherever you play at. You know, so it's important to let one side get nice and scuffed and let the other side. Well, I say let the other side. You got to maintain and look after one side of the ball, okay? And the reason why that's important is because now if I go back to my right arm away swinger, again, if I give it to you, bowling to me, the right-handed batter, we're going to point our seam towards the slips, like so, keeping the seam upright, but importantly, we're going to keep the shiny side on this side. Okay, if you want to swing it away, okay, and then the rough side this side. So this side is smooth and shiny, and this side has been scuffed up due to just playing in the game. And this side acts as like an accelerator, and this side acts as a brake. So what happens is this side then, because it's so smooth and shiny, it goes quicker through the air. Okay, so you see that there, and then what it wants to do, it wants to go this way, like that. Okay, and the opposite is true, of course, for in-swing. So what we do is we get the shiny side on this side now. If you're going back to people like Stuart Broad, Ben Stokes, let's get the shiny side on this side. You're going to point the seam towards my fine leg, which is this way, and then the ball's going to come this way. Okay, so again, this is really important to know. This is conventional swing still, when the ball's just a touch older, maybe 15 to 20 overs older, or old I should say, and yeah, this is going to be the openers or the first change bowlers. This is the kind of ball they're still going to have, and they're going to be swinging it conventionally in those 20 overs. Then of course your spinners are going to come on normally. There might be two spinners, so it's important really to communicate with them and to say, look, we're shining one side of the ball still. We still want to keep it shiny because later on we're going to come on to something called reverse swing. So make sure you're communicating with your spinners and the rest of your team. Leave one side to get scuffed and dirty, and you only have to shine one side. Okay, and then of course we get on to reverse swing. So reverse swing happens around about the 35 to 40 over mark. Now, I'm not saying that it comes to 40.1 overs and all of a sudden the ball decides, right, that's it, I'm deciding to go the other way. It just eventually happens. There's still a bit of mystery in when exactly it happens, but it does, okay? And what happens is, let's go back to our, again, right arm away swing bowler, bowling to me, a right-handed batter. Okay, we're going to have the shiny side on this side, rough side on this side, and for most of the innings we've been swinging it away from me. What's now going to happen is the ball is going to go the opposite direction when you hold it just like this. Okay, and the reason it does that is because this rough side becomes lighter than this side now. And then what happens is this rough side will then take on the characteristics of the shiny side. So it will do what the shiny side did previously. So now this side is going quicker through the air. And the classic delivery to watch is Simon Jones bowling to Michael Clarke. We've all seen it. In 2005, there's the Ashes. You know, it's a brilliant sight, especially if you're English. Jones bowls the ball, and he thinks he can leave it. He thinks, "Thank you very much." No, and then you hear the crash of the ash, and what do you know? Michael Clarke looks very silly thanks to Simon Jones. I think he starts giving it this one if you watch it. But it's all on YouTube. Go and watch it. You know, you watch the slow-mo of it, you can see exactly what side the shiny side's on and what side's the rough side on. So definitely have a look at that. And then the other one for the left armers is Wasim Akram in '92, bowling to England. I think it's Alan Lamb he bowls to, but Wasim Akram will normally bowl left arm in swingers into a right-handed batter, but because the ball now is reverse swinging, it's going the opposite way. So I think he starts the ball heading towards about middle stump, and then it goes away from him, it beats the batsman on the outside edge and then clips off stump. Brilliant delivery. So that's your classic for your left armers. And then of course if you want to have a go at home, the best thing I can recommend, certainly for you juniors, hopefully it's not going to annoy your parents too much, but get a tennis ball, like I made one earlier. Get a tennis ball, put some tape on one side, obviously, you know, just half and half. The tape's not too expensive, of course, tennis balls aren't too expensive, you know. Go in your back garden if they're big enough, or you know, wherever you can, and all I want you to do is just try and bowl the ball or even throw it, and try and keep it upright for as long as you can, and I will let you see which way the ball swings. See which way it swings, flip it over, try again, okay? And hopefully you'll see some swing if you keep the seam upright, and that will help you learn maybe a little bit more about swing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go and share, like, subscribe, comment on it if you think that I've missed some things or I've got some things wrong. I'd be more than happy to hear from you. Alright, thank you and happy cricketing.